All right, everybody. Just logging into Zoom right now. We're late today.
Station plan to live. There's Ramin. Let me just promote him. Hi, Ramin. Can you hear me?
Hi, Renisha. Yes, I can. All right. Oh, let me.
All right, guys. So we have Ramin here.
Hi, Vern.
Hi, Ramin.
All right.
How are you?
I am good. I apologize for being late. Actually, I was in the office and I thought, what am I going to talk about today? Then I started writing. I actually look at the commission list. I said, okay, we got some stuff to talk about. I started writing a new training. And I didn't even recognize the time until you called me. So I apologize for being late, but we're going to have a good night tonight. We're going to have a good night tonight. All right, Vern, let's get started. We're live on YouTube as well.
Everyone, so
we're live on YouTube as
Ramin,
well.
You're on YouTube, yes. I just got on YouTube, so I can see that you're on. You wanna find the right thing?
All right, you could see me. I have my video on Zoom as well.
Okay, yes, it's correct.
Okay.
So we're ready?
We are ready.
Recording in progress. So a lovely good morning, a lovely good afternoon, and a massive good evening to all of our forensic networkers already in progress, our new forensic networkers, our wannabe forensic networkers. This is the places we every Tuesday night, guys, where we sit around the fireplace with our CEO, with the forensic networker himself, Ramin Resgargo, who has been instrumental solely in the implementation of Opulence Global. He has created some compensation plans, not just for his company, but for many other companies. Ramin has created more than a dozen and counting self-made millionaires. He has achieved that status multiple times, have created many companies in terms of generating teams of over 100,000 persons many times over. So you know they say when you do it once, it's a fluke. You do it twice, you get lucky. When you're able to duplicate it, then you become a master. So we have with us the master of so many things again with us tonight. And Ramin, I am most excited about on Tuesday nights, there's never a topic. We don't know what you're going to talk about. So it's always, oh my God, I wonder what he's going to talk about tonight. I wonder what the topic is going to be this evening. So that is always, I love that suspense. And it's always better than expected. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Ramin Resgargo, and I will be off screen.
Thank you, Vern. All right. I love the energy to share. And tonight, we're going to talk about a lot of different things. If you're on YouTube, make sure, like, subscribe, hit the bell button. And by the way, guys, I want to hear your comments when the video finishes. I want you to go back and put a bunch of comments in. Let YouTube know there's some good information for MLM. Listen, we got to really get the MLM up and running this year because the topic tonight is this. 2022 projections are not good. What you need to do to thrive. There's your headline. 2020 projections are not good. And I'm not talking about our company because we're so well positioned. When the world catches a cold, we show up to take care of it. And we plan to expand a lot this year because all the projections I've been talking about since last year. Remember, 2020 we had the highest momentum in the world in MLM. In 2021, everybody slowed down, and so did we. We also slowed down, but we still had a tremendous year. But they said 2021 that a lot of people complaining, companies are closing. So as you know, we picked up a couple of companies, and we did one in 2019 as well in Philippines. And in 2022, they say it's going to be a really tough year. This is where a lot of companies will cave and people will be depressed. And so I thought, okay, well, you know what, that opens up opportunity for us, because that means a lot of companies are now available for us to pick up in different countries. We're really picking steam around the world, and we want to be the place that we're everywhere, because MLM is the only option now for anybody anywhere in the world. So we want to be that company that you could build in any country without worrying about, I want my companies in this country. We already ship products to, but we have 204 countries and territories in our database. Somebody said the other day, there's not even 200 countries in the United Nations. I said, well, go do your homework again, because there are many countries developing that are not official on the United Nations yet. 192 are official United Nations. There's about 40 to 50 other countries or territories that are not official. For example, Palestine is not an official country according to United, but it's a state, right? UAE's got 3 different parts. So we take a look at all of this. There's a lot of little countries now popping up. If you go to FIFA, the soccer league, I think they recognize 207 countries. So everyone, it all depends. The United States have their own recognition program. And so anyway, well, in our database, we have about 204 countries and territories. That's it. If it's there, that means we've shipped products there. All right. So Amazon, I'm obsessed with those guys because I see a lot of similarities what we do and what they do. And he started from home, and I started mine from home. And here we are. And they've been around for, I think, 24, 26 years. I think we talked about that for 26 years. We've been around for 17. So, and we want to look at what they're doing. And what they have done, they became the go-to for e-commerce, right? I mean, there's other platforms, but they've become the go-to. And we want to be the go-to when it comes to direct sales MLM, which, by the way, is no other option for people around the world. This is it, right? So sooner or later, people come to recognition that they have to work from home. The options are work from home, find a job that allows you to work from home if that's possible, and you get a salary, or become self-employed, work from home, do e-commerce and make retail profit, or be self-employed, work from home, get some e-commerce revenue, as well as residual income, which is MLM. MLM is the only one that offers that. So MLM is going to be the go-to to everybody. Now, we've talked about in the previous segments of Forensic that MLM will choose winners and losers the way, social media, decide that Facebook is going to be the winner, or Amazon in e-commerce, or so there's going to be winners and losers in MLM as well. So we're setting ourselves up really nicely with our product line, diverse lines that we have, our technology that we have on the software being expanded around the globe. I don't think there's another business that's more international than we are. I don't think there is. I know Amway's about 80 countries or whatever they talk about. I don't think there is a company that's going to reach as we do. So we take and to me, when I take a look and when they say, okay, the projections are 2022 is going to be horrible, a lot of companies will cave, and this is what they're saying. And my thing is, because we are prepared for that, I see that as an opportunity, and it's an opportunity for you as well. All right. An interesting quick announcement before we get started. I know we always get a few people that come on the forensic calls either on YouTube or on Zoom who are not part of Opulence Global, so just bear with us for a few minutes. We need to talk about a few things here about our company. Interesting thing happened this week. I just found out a few minutes ago that on a binary commission, we had a cap. We hit a cap. And if you're new, you don't know what that means. New, if you've been here in the last 3-4 years, you don't know what that means, because we haven't had this in 3 or 4 years. And what that means is the binary, every company has a maximum payout. If they don't have that, then they'll go out of business. So if you bring in $100, you can only pay so much, and then you have to pay your expenses and so forth. And when you hit that limit, if you go above that limit, then you have to cap it otherwise the company, especially a company like ours that pays to infinity. So we actually haven't had a cap in 4 or 5 years now, but we had a cap this week. I didn't even know till a few minutes ago. And what that means is that our payout, the binary, your cycle, your power cycle is about $400, right? It's $400. It was $338 this week. And that means that we went over a regular payout, which is a cap, by 7.34%. So basically, instead of 60 on the binary, it was a 67.34% plus bonuses and perks. So that pushes up over 70. But at the end of the day, so what the software does is, okay, well, we can't go over. If you go over, and so we have to reduce the commission. So it went down, instead of 7.4% on the power cycle, it's at 6.25%. Interesting. We haven't seen that. So the reason for that is, it's actually a positive thing when that happens. I know you don't like to lose few bucks, but that means is that a lot of people are getting paid more than the new volume coming in. So that can only happen here, not in other companies. Here's the reason why. We don't have flushing. We don't flush, and we don't have breakage. What flush is when you don't pay your, there's a lot of reasons why companies flush you. I mean, we flush only if you're not active at all, you're not buying and selling. But some companies flush regardless, even if you're buying and selling. Let's put that aside. But the biggest thing is called breakage. Every comp plan has that. Every company has that. Well, the breakage is that basically you did qualify, and you did everything you need to for qualification, and you got your commission, but there was some extra excess volume that you didn't qualify for. Where other companies, including what we used to do as well, our old plan was the same thing. We did it as well. Other companies, what they do now is that they flush that too. Well, we don't do that. So by not doing that, that means it sits there for next week for you to requalify, which is a good thing for you, and not a good thing for me because that's extra 20% cost for me. Having said that, what happened this week? The commission, the 60%, right, that we talk about, the binary plus perks and bonuses, that looks at new volume that comes in. So this week our new volume was low, so we still paid big commissions because the previous volume was not flushed, right? So what happened was it hit the cap, so it went from 7.4% down to 6.25 plus your bonuses, and so probably well over 7%, or 7.5%. All right, so I thought this is kind of interesting. Haven't seen that in years, and I guess we have low new volume this week, so that's what happened. By the way, if we would have flushed like we used to do and like other companies do, we would have hit the cap because you wouldn't have that volume sitting for you. So it's a positive thing. That means a whole bunch of commissions went up. I know that some of the commissions were really high this week, and Ronan is one of them. He's on the call tonight. I saw his really big check this week. So what happens is that you're using the previous volume that was not flushed, right, to pay you again, and which is a good thing. But of course, the software recognizes not enough in new volume coming in, so it caps it at what it's supposed to cap. Anyways, it was kind of interesting. So I thought, you know what, I want to find out what's going on with the industry because it's been a few years. We used to do this a lot. How are we doing? How's other companies? We've always had the best comp plan in the world, but we don't talk about that anymore because we're kind of mature now. When you're young and new, and you're out there flexing your muscles to everybody, hey, bring your comp. We did that in the 2000s, but when you mature up a little bit, then you don't have to do that anymore. 17-year-old company, A+ with all the stuff that we have, so we don't have to flex our muscles anymore. We're a little bit more mature than that. So, but I decided to go and check anyways. I said, okay, well, how's the industry doing? Because I'll pay out at 60% plus bonuses every week, right? 60 on the commissions, so on the binary plus bonus and perks and all these other things. So that's about 70% or so. So I decided to check. So I went to MLM.com and to find out what an average binary compensation plan pays between 40 and 45%. So even with our cap, right, we're sitting at 6.25, right, plus the convention bonus and all that stuff. I know that doesn't show because the software wasn't used to that. You'll see it. It's coming up because the first time we hit the cap, you're gonna get your convention bonus. You will get your marketing bonus. So that's going to show up. All right. So even with the cap and without those bonuses, we're at 6.25 according to MLM.com. Average binary compensation plan is 40 to 45%. Right. So we could close our eyes and hold one leg up and don't do. You know when we're wrestlers, when you're a wrestler, and then some big guys used to always come to test you out, right? Of course, Reza and I were champions, and so we used to win money so much. He says, "I tell you what, he's this big guy, twice as big as you." So I tell you what, I'm going to give you one arm. I'm going to stand on one leg. You can have another leg. You can have one leg, one arm. If you get me down, you win. If I get you down, I win. And instantly he said, "Oh, for sure, right?" And within 3 seconds, they're on their back because that's what wrestlers do. So we have that much of an advantage. Well, our comp plan is the same. Even with the cap, we are at 6.25, not even including the extra bonuses. And the industry average, according to MLM.com, is 40 to 45%. We're doing really good. We can flex our muscles. So I went to ftc.gov. I said, let's check more stuff. Right? I went to ftc.gov, of course, Federal Trade Commission, and see what their .gov, and looking at some of their stats. And their stats kind of interesting because it says MLM compensation plan pays from 20% to 50%. That's a huge range, right? 20 to 50. So, I think what they're saying is that if you're, a direct sales company like Mary Kay, or they don't do a lot of MLM, right? It's all a lot about retail sales. So I guess, 20% is the payout for, Avon and Mary Kay's and those type of, home party companies. So 20 to 50 is the range according to ftc.gov, which is Federal Trade Commission's government body. And here we are with our cap. We're at only 6.25. You guys are overpaid. All right, so let's just go on to that to the next thing. So even with the breakage, we're still at 6.3% payout. Now here's the key thing. The biggest, because forget about the numbers for a minute, right? Forget about numbers for a minute. The biggest advantage we have that no other plan has is this. And you guys are new, and you don't have to know this stuff. I know we used to brag about this stuff a lot. Renee was notorious. Well, it was my fault. When I first got started, I wanted to flex to the world, right? And so I used to do like 4-hour compensation plan trainings, tell the world what's wrong with MLM comp plans and what I've done to fix it and so forth. And of course, Renee, he picked up all that stuff. And even when I stopped doing it, he kept doing it, right? So, but the biggest thing about our comp plan is what makes it very, very unique is that it pays on, forget about the 6.3 being higher, but the biggest advantage is that it pays on both teams on all sales and to infinity. Let me explain that a little bit for you guys, because a lot of binaries these days, actually not these days, last 10 years or so, what binary has decided to do, binary companies, it's too expensive to pay on both legs, right? So they start coming with this new concept of the pay leg concept. What that really means, they only pay you on one leg, which is a small leg. Whichever leg is smaller, you get paid on that. Or you get 10%, 15% on the small leg, but of course, it sounds like it's a lot, 15, 10%, but it's on the small leg, right? So 80% of your volume is usually in the big leg, right? So you're not getting paid on that, period. So that's one thing. We pay on both legs, right? The second thing is we pay to infinity on all sales. Now, some binary companies don't go to infinity. And the ones who do go to infinity, here's the biggest thing. You guys don't, so many things about the business we don't talk about. I'm having fun with this. This is not even a topic tonight, but let me brag a little bit. So we pay you guys actually on the packages, that you sponsor in LA. Well, this is the only company that I know in 32 years in my time that when you personally sponsor a package, bring somebody in, that you get the CV. Usually, the CV goes to the upline. You don't get the CV. You get what's up to a fast start bonus or something on that sale. The CV goes to the upline. This is the only company that when you sponsor in LA, what do you get, right? You get 500 CV, right? So you get the CV plus you get the wholesale profit. So now that's one thing that's extremely unique. Explains why even when we cap, we're still much higher than everyone else, right? The second part of that is this is the only company that you would get paid in your organization on the packages to infinity. Nobody does that. Other companies, here's what they do. They say, okay, if you, on the packages, they have the compensation plan. On the packages, I've seen up to 3 levels where you get, I don't know, 15%, 20%, 15%, 10%, 5%, whatever that number is, but it ends after 3. So you paid on the organization on the product sales month after month, but not on new packages. Separate that. Remember, you buy an LA package, okay, that's a package. And after that, you keep buying on a monthly basis. Those are product sales, right? Other companies pay you on the product sales, how many levels they pay, whatever that is. But nobody pays you on the packages to infinity. Nobody does that. We do that. So anyways, I start looking at this thing. I said, damn, even with the cap, we're creaming it. But enough bragging. Let's get to our training. So no, I gotta brag a little bit more. So if you're enjoying the bragging, just make some noise. Let me see. I know YouTube is all colorful. Let me take a look at this. Zoom people sleeping. Let me see. No, there's a lot of stuff on Zoom. No sleeping here. Yeah, the stuff. Well, it's not as colorful, but it's them moving. Zoom, wake up. Let's go. Let's make some noise. Yeah, it's a keep bragging. Please brag. You guys are funny. All right, there's one more thing. In 2008, oh man, I gotta take a picture of this. Hold on a second. You guys are too cool. I'm gonna get cut off. Before I get cut off. All right, you guys are awesome. So I have to brag one more thing. We get to our training. I promise. I will make sure you guys still can see me. And that's ED ratio. Years ago, we used to part of the DSA, and so I had this big argument with the president of the DSA because there's a lot of things actually wrong with the MLM industry, and I'm the MLM expert, I'm the comp plan expert. I'm telling him he knows nothing about comp plans, so I was telling him what we need to do, and so I introduced something to the industry called the ED ratio, earning per distributor ratio, because I was a distributor like you, I was a soldier like you. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what percentage the comp plan pays. It doesn't matter. It's a guy in front of room making $60,000 a month or $100,000 a month. Every company has that, right? So what matters is what I call, and I created, and I introduced the industry called ED ratio, earning per distributor ratio. That's what matters. So when you take a look at the time we were in part of DSA, so I asked for some stats. They didn't know what they wanted it for. So I said, give me these stats. So they provided the stats. So here's what I want the stats for. So I want to know, because at the time there was 2 major type of businesses, right? You got the telecom. At the time, telecom was hot. They're dead now, but at the time it was hot. And then there was the nutrition business, right? So I took a look at it. I found out that the average MLM company that sells nutrition products or household products, and you basically get paid up to $1 per distributor, up to $1 on an average. What that means, if you want to make $10,000 a month, royalty, you need 10,000 people, right? Up to, that's minimum. Maybe you need 20,000, because up to $1 per distributor, even at $1, you need 10,000 people. If it's telecom, it's much worse. It's up to 35 cents per distributor. 35 cents. So if you need to make 10,000 a month, simple math, you need 30,000 people, right? So 30,000 people. So we did our EDI ratio that year, and ours was like over $8 a distributors. Damn, that's like 8 times. That's an X8. It was ridiculous. So, even right now when I'm looking at this thing, our ED ratio is much higher than even the percentages show, because we pay in the packages to infinity. Nobody does that. And we give you CV, not just your upline. We give you CV and your upline when you launch. I know tonight wasn't supposed to be that, and I know there's some people here who are not part of business, so sorry about that. But you gotta hang. You come to this channel, welcome to come. But we gotta hang out a little bit with my team, and we do a little bit of this stuff. All right, let's talk about. So it was an interesting week. Interesting week. Let's see what's going on. If we're going to hit the cap again next week, we'll see. We'll see if it's going to. So we need some new volume, guys. We need some new volume. We got tons of promotions. We need some new volume so we don't hit the cap. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So the topic for tonight was kind of sounded negative, right? 22 projections are not good, right? This is what they're saying. That's what the government's saying. So I thought, okay, what do you need to do to thrive? Forget about the survive, right? You know, if the projection is not good for the year, what do you need to do to thrive? Forget survive. So I thought we got to talk about that tonight. So you guys are ready to go? Are you ready to go? All right. We're going to talk about this baby here, the Boss Box. All right. So our LD4, Reza Masgarlu, who says in that new video we have, I love the new video, who we are. I love that new video, right? It says, when the adversity hits, this company hits back harder. That's so true. That is so true. When adversity hits, this company hits back even harder. That is so true. So for me, every time, I hear bad news or whatever, or we go through the peaks and valleys, right? And then when the valley is about to come, I get violent. I march forward violently. I was okay, I don't like this. So we're gonna violently get through it to the next hill because we know how it works, right? Laws of nature. At the end of every hill, there is a valley, right? At every valley, there is a hill. Come on, type with me. Type with me. On Zoom, on YouTube, type with me as we're going. I want you to get this practice. So if it is end of every hill, there's a valley. End of every valley, there is a hill. So when we start to go down to that next valley, because we could see, right? In this company, that's about every 2-3 years. 2-3 years is where you go to the 3-4 years. So that's okay. We're going through a valley. It's in the middle. So we're going to have to press hard. Boom. And you're going to go through that too. And by the way, we go through that in our health and relationships and all peaks and valleys, right? Your job. That's how nature works. Nature works like that. Your business works like that. Your relationship works like that. Your health works like that. Peaks and valleys, right? So what do you do when you go through a valley? See, the problem is most people, they get discouraged. They don't feel good. They're emotional. They stop. You stop, you die. You stay there, right? So no, when you go through a valley, what do? You hit hard. You want to get out of this thing, right? You want to get out and find the next hill. Because 100% stat, it's not 90%, 95%, it's 100%. If there's a valley, you keep on going, you're going to hit a hill. That's just how it works. So when you start to go down, you go boom, boom, boom. So I become violent. Look, it's going down, guys. We start developing. We get aggressive to get to that next hill. And you've seen the stuff we've been doing. It's nuts. I know the things that we're adding constantly. We have probably the biggest IT team in whole MLM right here. And we hired 5 more outside here to do that new project with Exit Coin. And we're just developing at a big meeting today for NFTs with a big artist. And we got some cool, crazy stuff going on with that. And anyway, there's tons of stuff going on because we want to get to that next peak. So the whole idea, as I've explained to you before, is that you don't compare a valley with a peak. Right? That's not how it works. In corporations, we compare this valley with the last valley. As long as it's going up, you're in good shape. And we compare last peak with the previous peak. And as long as it's going this way, you're okay. So you don't go valley and peak. Oh, my business went down. You don't compare valley with the peak. You compare valley with the previous valley. And as long as it's going right direction, you're in good shape. All right. So we started to do a lot of stuff over here. And we want to get to that next peak. The issue with a lot of people is that they, things go down a little bit and it's almost like some people look for excuses to quit, right? Either quit activities or quit the business. It's like they just want to quit for any reason. And I don't understand that, because that's the only way. You know what quit is, right? When you go to a valley, you stop. That's the only way you don't get to the next hill, right? Because remember, this is the law of nature. This is law of nature. You cannot miss the next peak if you just keep on walking. If you run, it's been better, right? The only way you won't get to that next peak is when you go down to the valley and you stop. You stay there. Dead. We don't want to do that, right? Boom. You want to jump, fine. Because you can see the hill. You just have to go towards it. All right. So the very first thing I want to talk about, is that, so why do people quit, right? Well, in forensics got some unbelievable terminologies, right? One of them is when confusion sets in, inactivity starts. Write it down. Put in the chat. When confusion sets in, inactivity starts, right? People wake up in the morning, they don't know what to do, and I should be doing something, and they haven't done anything, and they're feeling guilty, and they don't like the feeling. Then they go do something else, get the mind off the guilt, and they do it every day and every day and every day, and that leads to crisis, right? That leads to crisis. So my whole thing is, because I was a soldier like you, everything we're developing here, especially with this VIP generator that we have now in the back office, is okay. I want to take away that question of what do I do today? I want you to wake up in the morning and say, I know exactly what to do. For 30 years, the MO box has done that for me. And it still will always be the number one source. If you don't have it, get it. If you have it, start using it. All right? Because you wake up in the morning and you don't feel good. You haven't made a check. You need money. What do I do? Boom. You open this up. That's what you do. That's what you do. It's there. You pick up you know what's amazing about this too? You make that first phone call, regardless of the result, you're in it now. It's like you're on the treadmill now and you're going now. And next one you make the next. That's how, don't lose it. Oh, I almost lost my Zoom here. All right, you keep on going and going. So that very first phone call, it got you on the roll. And boy, now you're not confused anymore. Now you have an MO, right? Method of operation, or DMO, daily method of operation. You need this box. So you need to start doing things, or that's going to lead to crisis. Let me just break it down for you. MLM is like a job, right? The job needs to get done. MLM is like a regular job. It just needs to get done. You can't have a job and not go there, right? Is there such a thing as a job that you don't go to? No, there's no job that you don't go to. There's no job that you don't do. You either have to do the job at work or have to do that job from home. There's no job that you have to do anything, right? So MLM is just like a job. It just needs to get done regardless of your emotions. Oh, I don't feel good. Who cares you don't feel good? Get the job done. Right? You can't say that at your job, right? The job has to get done. Separate emotions. People come to me and say, yeah, I'm not being active because emotionally I'm not there. And when I hear that, I'm not confused. I got this dumb look. I'm like, what's emotions have to do with work? You wouldn't do that with anything. You wouldn't do that with anything. Like, go tell your boss, oh, emotionally, I wasn't good last month, so I didn't come into work. What? Like, you wouldn't think what's emotions have to do with work? Get it done. The problem is not emotions. The problem is you're confused. You don't know what to do. Get this. I've been telling you, this is responsible when I made my first million in 1995. This is responsible for my first million I made at age 25. Start your MO box. All right. So MLM is just like a job. It just needs to get done regardless of your emotions. So here's the thing too as well. People say, well, you know what? I'm defocused. Or I'm demotivated. And the reason why people get demotivated is because they're focusing so much on the results, right? Not really the progress. They're focusing constantly on the result. Well, I need money. Okay. I understand you need money, but money is a result of something else, right? Money is a result of a process. Without process, you're not going to get money, right? So you keep focusing on the result and you're not focusing on the process. So that's just never going to work. You have to think of if your process happens, automatically a result will come. Listen carefully. When the process happens, automatically you get a result. Now, I even say this: you can go to the side of the street with a hat, right? Sit there with a hat, stay there for 8 hours, and you're going to get a result. I can guarantee you there's going to be some coins or dollars inside that bag in a hat. You're getting a result. Your action, what was the process? You got out, you left, you sat for 8 hours with your hand out. Boom. And that got you some result. But without the process, you won't get a result. Yet in MLM, people don't want to do anything, and they keep thinking of the result. Even the guy who sits on the side of the corner of the street with a hat, he doesn't think that way. The guy doesn't think, well, if I don't go and sit on the side of the street for 8 hours with a hat outside, he doesn't think if he doesn't do that, he's going to get a result. Even he doesn't think that way. Yet in MLM, we don't do anything, yet we keep focusing on the result. You can't focus on the result. You got to focus on the process. So I'm saying that, when it comes to this business, don't focus on the results. Focus on your habits, right? Focus on your habits. How you are brought you to where you are, whatever you've been doing is getting you these results. So focus on your habits. Your habits is getting you these results. If that sucks, then you need to change your habits. But we don't think about the habits, right? We don't want to change. We just want the result to change. But it doesn't work that way, right? The result is what you get after your habits, right? So result comes afterwards. You can't expect the result to change if the habit is not changing, if the process is not changing. So we got to change that habit. So don't focus on the results, focus on your habits. So you're going to be asking yourself every single day, is what I'm doing today, what I did today, was it IGA, income generating activity, or not? So is your habit every single day, is it making you an income or it isn't? IGA, income generating activity. So if you wake up every day, is my habits IGA, conducive to IGA, income generating activity, or not? So what you want to focus on, you'll focus on because on the habit. So if you're focusing on the result, right, that gets the attention. Depression, because the result is only generated after the habit, and whatever you focus on gets the attention. If you change your way and stop thinking about the result that discourages you, and start focusing on the habit, all of a sudden, okay, I'm thinking IGA now. I'm thinking I got to do something. I'm thinking the habit will generate me the result. So you focus on the habit daily and not the result. And if you do that, you'll never be demotivated. You'll never be demotivated. You're only demotivated because you're thinking of the results, not even thinking what caused the result. The result is not what your problem is. Your habit, your process is where your problem is. So one of the first things you want to do is unquit yourself. Unquit yourself. Because some people are looking for a reason to quit, right? Either quit doing things or being active, or just quit altogether. Just unquit yourself. It doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't get you anywhere. Listen, you already know how to do that. You know how I know? Because all of us go through an entire lifetime, right? Trying to lose weight, keep our weight down, become fit. Very few of us hit the Olympics, right? Very few of us actually get to the ultimate fitness, get down to the weight that we want. Very few do it. But most of us we go forward, we fall off, we get back on. Nobody has to tell us, right? You wake up in the morning, I better have some orange juice, or have a salad today, or I'm gonna have some fruits, maybe some fiber, maybe take some FOL, something. So we constantly get back, right? Reset, refresh to get back in shape. Maybe I go to the gym, maybe I go for a walk, take the dogs for a walk, maybe go for a run, right? No, we're not consistent at it, but we get back on it, right? And we do this for our entire lifetime. Entire lifetime, right? So we're good this week or this month on our diet. We fall off next month. We get back on. We know consciously that we need to get back up. We know consciously that we need to eat better, exercise, go for a walk. We're trying to maintain our health, our weight. Consciously, we fall off, we get on. We fall off, and we do this our entire lifetime. You agree? You agree? So you already know how to do that. Do that with your business. So you fall off, that's fine. As long as you got this, the minute you open this, the MO box, the boss box, he already knows perfectly where you have been and what's the next call. He knows perfectly where the next calls are, right? So you get off, get back on. You get off, get back on. You already know how to do that. You're already doing that with your weight. You're doing that with your health. You're doing it. Some people, their way of getting back on is maybe having that salad and stuff, the rice, chicken and rice tonight, right? Or maybe I'll juice, orange juice, In other words, consciously, we constantly get on to try to do certain things for health, for weight, for different things, right? Well, do that for your business. Do that for your business. So unquit yourself. Write that down. Unquit yourself. There is no quitting. You don't do that with your health. Doesn't matter if somebody's not fit and overweight. Guess what? They still try. They still try. It's here. It's here. And they do it their entire lifetime. You know what? Because they do it, they think they're much better off than if they didn't. Because there are a few people, remember it's a few people at the top, they get the ideal weight and they look like heroes and they look like, the guy on the poster, the girl on the poster. The few at the top, there's also a few on the bottom. They don't do that and they become unhealthy and, way over. So we got the top, we got the bottom, but the rest of us fall right in the middle, right? So we need to keep on consciously, you got your health and then you got your financial health, right? They both need your attention. You need to get back on track. Every single time you fall off, you get on. Look at this. I didn't even get to my box. It's the time already. I got here a little bit late. So again, the message tonight is unquit yourself. There you go. Unquit yourself. You already know how to do that. You do that with your health. You do that with your kids. You do that with your relationship. You do that with your weight. We do that already. We know how to do that, right? And apply the same principles to your business. And that's how you go through the 2022 and you thrive. With that, Vern, I'll pass the call back to you. Let's see. Did you guys get something out of this? I want to hear you. So here's what I want you guys to do. Here's a little test for you guys. Let's see how many of you will actually do this. Whether you're on Zoom or whether you're on YouTube, when this video ends, I want you to go back to a bunch of comments because that's when the comments show up. So we can get YouTube algorithm to pick this up and get the message out. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, share the link. Unquit yourself. This important video for you to share with your team because 2022 is here. If they're not within the walls of Opulence Global, where there's no pandemic, there is no hot coals, this is the blue lagoon in our ocean, blood-infested red ocean. This is it. So if you want people to stay within the walls of Opulence, where we don't walk on the hot coals, the rest of the world walk on, they need to hear these messages. If they're not here tonight, I'm not sure why I give them shit for it. Oops, I shouldn't say that. I said anyway. I did. So that's the thing about these type of calls. You know, it is a locker room talk, right? This is locker room talk. We can say anything. In any event, make sure you send them the links and then you got to listen to this so you can thrive in 2022. With that, Vern, I'll pass it back to you. I apologize for folks.
Renee, unquit yourself, Renee. Baby, unquit yourself. Ronan, unquit yourself. The line of Candy Raymond, unquit yourself. Kathy, unquit yourself. Julia, unquit yourself. Charlene, unquit yourself. Arthur, unquit yourself. What am I missing? Oh, I'm not on YouTube, right? Caroline, girl, unquit yourself. Unquit yourself. Naima, unquit yourself. Ifra, unquit yourself. What am I missing? Pamela, unquit yourself. Christine, unquit. Woo, everybody, unquit yourself. Unquit yourself.
That's right.
Burn, unquit yourself. Ramin, unquit yourself. Ramin, unquit yourself.
Trust me, I want to quit. I've been doing 17 years. I think I deserve a retirement. You guys won't let me retire. You know, so.
No. When they put all jokes aside, don't crack that.
By the way, I love the crowd. I love the crowd. We have lots of energy this year, which is great. Because I tell you, outside the walls of Opulence, there's no excitement going on. There's no excitement going on.
There's none. And I'm happy that I am where the excitement is. So guess what, guys? We will be unquitting ourselves on Saturday, where we will be going through a series of things to do, and we will be actually doing them. So don't think you come in listening on Saturday. Come with your boss box. You have time between now and Saturday to order your boss box if you don't have one. If you have one, get the carton because we're getting to work. Because we're going to be recharging, restarting. I'll have Ivy edit this and put unquitting ourselves to restart our Opulence business. And that we will be doing together on Saturday on our training. And then we have, guys, a massive, I'm looking forward to that call on Sunday because this gentleman, John Basud, has a massive story and you want to hear from him because of his track record in MLM and what he's doing with Opulence and where he's going with his Opulence. And you really want to appreciate the challenges he has had and how he was able to not quit himself anywhere along the way and be able to win so many times. So I'm looking forward to this call on Sunday. I will be glued to my phone, to my computer to make sure I miss nothing. And guess who's interviewing him? Our youngest millionaire, Rennie. So guys, please be on that call. And of course, last night was way too short. There's so many questions that didn't get answered because of the new products coming on board. Talk about being in a place that has too much excitement from it. This is it, right? So our product Crossfire continues with Ramin and David next week Monday. So if your question wasn't answered, come back on Monday so you could get it answered. And we have so many new products that we did not get answers and explanations for. So come next week. Then we get more to answer to Ramin on Tuesday, and that's where I end with you because Ramin's call is on the 1st of February, and I will be gone. I won't be here, but I will be here. So guys, Ramin, thank you so much. This was not an hour, by the way, so you owe us. The content is capped, but forensic is not capped. You stole us about 15 minutes, so you owe us about 15 minutes.
Hey, listen, I better get my QT points. I better get my QT Opulence currency.
Ruben, you're not on this payroll, huh? You're not on this payroll at all. And I have to make sure I remove you on the payroll if you are on the payroll because the pie is going to be shorter. So guys, did you have fun? If you had fun, send me some hearts, send me some love. Say you had fun. Say yes, you had fun. Say yes, you loved the call tonight. You loved the bragging. You loved the excitement. You loved the information. Yes. We love it. We're the best. Oh, I mean, you're getting love. We're getting all the love.
And Vern was okay too.
Cheers to that, Ruby. Cheers to that.
Yeah. You and I go back a long time. So listen, we missed you last year, so you're gonna pay me some jokes moving this year.
Yes, I promise I will. I promise I will. I will. So to everyone on the call, I really want to thank you for being on, especially our morning troopers that are here from 4 a.m. and 3 a.m. I really have a lot of respect for you guys for being here. Our Thailand team that was on tonight, I have a lot of listeners from Thailand here right now. It's so good to have you guys on. I look forward to continuing to have you guys on. I would learn to pronounce the names so I don't chop your names. To all of our listeners who are here for the first time, I hope you enjoyed the call. Looking forward to having you again next Tuesday with Ramin and the rest of our calls. Guys, look forward to your back office. If you've not gone to your back office lately, IT along with our graphics team and Ivy has been really putting some amazing tools there for us. So if you go on the business tools, you will see the complement that Renee trained us on back-to-back 2 Saturdays is there and it's downloadable. There is the 12 commandments card. Listen, do that tonight. Download that because it will be very instrumental in our training on Saturday. You'll be happy that you downloaded it. Print it if you have to, if you can, and have it ready for Saturday. And you have the Fountain of Life fact sheet. If you've not gone through that document, please go through it. It's very, very valuable and will add a lot of knowledge for you, especially when you're speaking to persons about your product. And guess what? The most exciting part for me, all of the e-catalogs now are downloadable in PDF version, y'all. All of it. The full catalog, the shoes, the handbag, the monogram, everything is downloadable in PDF version. I know, right? That of test finally. So listen, we have no Unquit yourselves. Guys, stay forensic. Have a wonderful evening, a wonderful day, a wonderful morning. Ramin, thank you so much for giving us your heart and your love. And have an amazing time. Stay forensic, everyone.
Stay forensic, everybody.